Imagine you are driving home on a Saturday afternoon after having just bought groceries for you and your family, when, bam, you have just gotten in a car accident with someone who has run a red light. You become unconscious, and the next thing you know is you wake up in a hospital room. You lie there in shock after remembering that you just got in a car crash. And then you realize that something must be off. You can't feel certain things. And as you look down to inspect your body, you realize that you are indeed missing your arm. You're lying there in shock as the doctors come in to tell you that they did the best they could to repair it, but in the end, they had to amputate your arm. Now imagine if we did not have prosthetics available to the people of this world. Imagine how devastated you would feel knowing that you will be forever void of your arm, an arm that you so desperately need to function. This is why we need to bring to awareness the importance of prosthetics. Prosthetics help these people, and these individuals struggle on many different levels. But the two I'm going to talk about are the physical struggles and the social struggles. As we think about the future in this TEDx event, I want you to think about what these prosthetics are designed as. They are very primitive in design, which creates a physical struggle for these people. The design, as you can see, is very simplistic, and it's only basically there to help support their weight or to help have an arm there so that they can try to grab stuff. The reason these are so primitive is because we have been using the same design that has been patented in 1912, according to the former TED Talk speaker, Todd Kuchen. This means that we haven't been able to make much progress in 106 years. Now, that makes things very challenging for these people because they can't function like we can all the time. They can't rotate their wrists like we can, although with the newer designs, they can rotate their wrists 360 degrees, but they can't flex up and down and rotate at the same time like a normal human wrist does. Like simple tasks, like brushing your teeth, can take twice as long for someone with prosthetics. This leaves me wondering, as Todd Kuchen gave another quote, that he says, from an engineering standpoint, this is the greatest challenge one can imagine, trying to restore the most incredible machine in the universe. This leaves me wondering where I stand. Because as a 16-year-old girl, I want to become a biomedical engineer and design prosthetics for the people of this world. No, I do not have a prosthetic, as you guys can probably tell, but I have always wanted to help people. And by helping people, I could become a nurse or a surgeon or a doctor or any occupation that helps people. But I want to help others who do not have as much help available. There are hundreds and thousands of nurses and surgeons, but there are hardly any people designing prosthetics. And that is why they are so expensive, is there's very few people who do this. And so that makes me wonder, well, if we haven't been able to get anywhere in 106 years, what can we achieve in my lifetime? You see, people tell me that it's probably just a dream that can't be achieved, but I believe it to be a reality, and that is why I'm here talking today. It is the fact that I want to be the seed that creates the change in this world with prosthetics that I'm here talking. People today think that prosthetics are weird and abnormal, even though they are a representation of our human body. In fact, just the other day, when I was discussing this talk to the students in my school, one of them asked me what I was going to do my talk on. I said I was going to do it on prosthetics. And they looked at me and said, "That's weird," and walked away. The fact that a teenager thinks it's weird for someone to want to design prosthetics is the reason I'm here talking today. We need to bring awareness to prosthetics. That way people will not think that prosthetics are weird, and they will hopefully be able to function like a normal human body part. They also struggle socially as well. The people who wear prosthetics often have to be labeled for their prosthetic rather than the person themselves, because when they walk out in public, the public eye immediately sees that something is wrong and that they have a prosthetic. And yes, that might just be human curiosity, and we are always interested in anything that is different from us is something that needs to be investigated. But a lot of people think that this is weird and that they can't move. And so we oftentimes just label them and don't get to know the person because we are too afraid to realize what they're going through. So even though they struggle with the physical therapy and the physical struggle of having to move a body part that isn't even attached to you, they still have to deal with the people who label them as just their prosthetic. And so as I talk to you guys today, as well as the people watching this video, I want you to think about how lucky you are to be able to do simple, everyday tasks without thinking about them, and to still have all of your body parts together. And it is on this idea that we need to create more efficient research by collaboration. And if we bring more awareness to prosthetics, we can hopefully get more people interested in them, because a lot of times people just don't know what prosthetics are. They just know that it's an artificial limb. And with more collaboration creates more research, and with more research we can become more efficient so that it does not take 106 years for us to design the next big design for prosthetics. And so I want you to think about how we are able to develop research in the future so that people who go in car crashes don't have to worry about the struggles afterwards, even if it's something that they did not choose happen. And it is on that concept that I want you to reach out to people about prosthetics and talk to how we can develop better ideas so that we will be able to make the prosthetic that will look exactly like a human limb. And then maybe people will know how beneficial these are to the human race. Thank you.